Welcome in, everybody. I'm Noah Castor, and as always, I'm joined by Brandon Hudson and Darren Kinslow, and we are the Benchwarmers. I'd like to start by saying we do have that 500 subscriber goal by the start of the next season. Whoever wins gets a free NFL jersey of their choice, so be sure to subscribe, and we'll come out with that later on. We actually do have a hype video for the Chiefs coming out tomorrow after this video, so go check that out. And also, we do have some fantasy football videos coming out and some Madden videos coming out soon once we get the early access, so stay tuned for that. With that being said, let's get right into it. Chiefs offseason report. They've actually made quite a bit of moves to add to their defense and their good offense. I'll shoot over to Darren to start out.
Yeah, well, at first, I think their offense is going to be, I think they're going to be great, just like they were last season. I think the biggest thing is the defense. They lost a couple of veterans, but they also got Frank Clark and the Honey Badger back there at safety, and a new defensive coordinator, too, get Bob Sutton out of there. So if the defense can improve, just a little bit, me and Brandon were talking about that, just to move up a couple of spots.
Yeah, you don't even got to move up like into the top 10.
They don't have to become
just moving up for them after being in the 31st spot for almost, 3 seasons I think it was now. It's time to just move up just even a little bit.
Just take a little bit of pressure off of Mahomes, because I really don't think he's going to have as good a season as he did last year.
It was insane.
It's really hard to do.
Yeah.
And then obviously Tyreek Hill too. How long is he going to be suspended? They don't have Kareem Hunt either. I think that's a big loss because they played most of the season with Kareem Hunt, and he was a really good player for them.
Yeah.
So, but overall, I think their offense is still going to be great. So, I don't know.
Definitely. I don't think people talk enough about Kareem Hunt not being there. I think that's a big thing. And of course, the running back they have there now is a Damian Williams. Mm-hmm. He's pretty good, but he's not Kareem Hunt. So I think that really is something that a lot of people need to talk about. Brandon, I'll shoot it over to you.
Yeah, it's some ads on Damian Williams. What's nice about that, though, yes, they lost Kareem Hunt last year, but also they had Damian Williams. He finished off the season. So, it's not like he's just coming in straight out of this season. He's got experience from last season. He didn't do bad. They still made it far, and they still didn't lose him.
Carlos Hyde,
backing up.
See what he can do.
He's been injured quite a bit, but who knows? Maybe he can have something before he retires.
Definitely.
But yeah, okay. So I like the move with Tyrann Mathieu. That's gonna be big for me because I finally get to see him play here in KC. I can't wait to see him play, honestly. But overall, just like we were talking about. Their defense just needs just a little bit. Even the slightest bit of movement, and it's gonna be game over. Having some new corners like Ward and Bashaud Breeland, that's gonna be big for them. So, overall, they've made some big moves. It seems like. I know it doesn't really look like it, but in some ways, it does look like they have made moves, and I think it's going to be an exciting season to watch for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's going to be good. Obviously, they had some of the best pass rushing numbers last season with Chris Jones and Dee Ford. With Dee Ford leaving, they add Frank Clark to hopefully shore up some more pass rush.
Damian Wilson.
And it's just the secondary that's the problem. And they did add Juan Thornhill in the draft. I really like him, a safety out of Virginia. But I don't know if it's enough. Of course, Bashaud Breeland's a really good addition. He played for the Packers, and I really liked him when they picked him up. So do you guys think that the additions they made is enough to make them at least a viable defense? All they have to do is not lose them games. That's all they have to do.
Yeah.
I definitely think so.
I do, too, and with Steve Spagnuolo coming in, a brand new scheme.
That's definitely, it's going to be something, it's going to be a completely new defense.
Yep.
And they, like I said, they've got, I say it a lot, but Tyrann Mathieu, that's going to be big for us. We've had Eric Berry, yes, but this is like a replacement. This is going to be big for us.
He's a monster.
He's in his young prime. He's not, he's there. It's not like he's like Eric Berry where he's getting old. He's got to retire. No, he's just coming into the league. I think it's going to be exciting to watch this, honestly.
I am excited. I just don't know if the offense can kind of put up the numbers they did last year because it was just a historic season for offense. Obviously, with Patrick Mahomes slinging 50 touchdowns. It's going to be tough to recreate that, which is why the defense needs to step up and at least take some of the burden off the offense. So It's going to be interesting to see if those new pieces fit. I don't love that they paid Frank Clark the amount of money they did, and they haven't paid Chris Jones yet. I think that may have rubbed Chris Jones the wrong way. But other than that, I like the moves they made. I like their draft picks. Obviously, the addition of McCole Hardman, anticipating maybe Tyreek Hill getting suspended. He's another speedster out of Georgia. That's a good pick. So I really like what they've done. So we'll see. And the division, not incredibly competitive. All you have to really look out for is the Chargers and then maybe the Broncos catching a game on you. But that's about it. And I'm going to ask you guys, where do they land? They taking first again?
I think they do take first in the West again. I said it in the Chargers video. Only competition will be
not San Diego
Los
anymore.
Angeles. So that's my only worry for them. I think the defense must improve. Offense is still going to be great. And Tyreek Hill, I think the situation is about as good as it was going to get. At least they're going to have him for towards the end of the season and playoffs and stuff.
Definitely. So, Brandon, what do you think?
Yeah, like I can see it first. Probably the Chargers at second. It's going to be a battle between the Broncos and Raiders, I think, this year because of, the Broncos have kind of gone downhill a little bit. Maybe Drew Lock can bring him back or Joe Flacco, whoever ends up starting. The Raiders, they did make some pretty big moves over the offseason with all the draft picks they had, but that'll be an interesting kind of rebuild thing. Still not really sure how they're going to do, but it'll be a battle between them for third and fourth.
Definitely, I agree with both of you guys. I think Chiefs are a lock in at first. And I like the Broncos at third and the Raiders at fourth, and obviously the Chargers coming in at second. I want to just say one more thing. Do you think it's possible that Patrick Mahomes has kind of a sophomore kind of slump? Like, I know it's really his third year, but it's his second year starting. So do you think it's possible he doesn't, obviously he's not going to have the kind of season he had last year, but is it possible he struggles a little bit?
I think maybe with people figuring him out could be an issue. It's hard to say. Since he had such an amazing season his very first year. Yeah. I definitely don't think it's going to compare to his MVP season, but I don't know. I think he'll still be good. I think he'll be one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
It's a lot of pressure on his shoulders because right now with Kansas City, it's Super Bowl or bust because of the kind of talent they have around him. Yep. So it'll be interesting to see how he handles the pressure.
I think it's his second year. He's not old. So he's still young. He's had the experience. I think he's just going to continue doing what he's got to do. He won't have the best season like he did last year, or who knows? Maybe he will surprise us. They do have a lot of the same offense, and they're gaining defense, so it may be different, and they may just come out there and do the same thing they did last year, but even better with the defense coming in.
Yeah, hopefully those defensive moves work, and they can at least be somewhat decent, because it was frustrating to watch having Patrick Mahomes put up 40-point games and them still having to grind it out in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, all right, I think that does it for the Chiefs off-season report. We do have the hype video coming out tomorrow. Stay tuned for all the fantasy football stuff and the Madden stuff. It's been the Benchwarmers, guys.
Deuces.